sport mode is a beast. Holy. What's up, guys? This is Two Wheel Ton back with another ride and review. Finally, we're on a 2017 BMW R nineT Racer. Pretty cool. It's got the sweet 70s style fairing. I dig actually that it's kind of, if you can see, the bars are shaking a little bit. We got rear sets. I think it's 31-inch seat height. I'm only about 5'6". Man, that thing sounds badass right there. I'm a little better than Tiptoes, but I have pretty short legs. I think most anyone else would feel comfortable on it. Pretty cool. I'm excited to ride this thing. I hope that the BMW team here lets us stretch the legs a little bit. All right, initial impressions. It's a real aggressive riding position. If you're used to like a sports bike, then you're good. If you're used to something a little more upright riding position, this would take quite a bit to get used to. I had a sport bike at one point in time, and with this aggressive of a riding position, I remember the first time I rode it home, it was murder. I actually you don't think about it, but what it takes to hold that helmet up, the weight of your helmet taxes your neck muscles, and you don't really think about it until you're there, until you're actually having to deal with it. Alright, so I think this thing's supposed to be about 110 horsepower. 485 pounds, I think, is what the website says. Yeah, so far, I mean, plenty of power. It sounds cool. Smoother than expected when I was seeing it kind of shake before. It just says it's idling. But I've never really ridden a BMW, and I always kind of wanted to ride one of these boxer motors. As you know, if you're subscribed to my channel and you watch some of my videos, especially the Rambler on a Scrambler videos, my main bike is a 2015 Ducati Scrambler. That's a much more upright riding position. So this is a little bit uncomfortable for me right now. However, it feels cool. That riding position helps you to feel like you're going fast. It's a real hot day here in Minnesota, and I feel real sweaty. All right, let's see here. Oh yeah. God, it sounds cool. It's got nice power. I mean, it rolls on nicely. You see, I can get quite a bit of R's out of this thing for a twin. Although, what is that? Maybe 8,500. That's probably fairly standard for most twins these days, and it kind of goes up from there. Much smoother power than I expected. I expected to feel possibly a little bit more vibration. However, I think this boxer motor, the whole design here is so that it's just really nicely balanced, which definitely seems that way. This is a little strange that these must be like rubber mounted. I don't know if you can see that, but when I'm hitting bumps, the speedo and the tack are kind of jiggling around. That's a little bit weird. But whatever, I guess. Not a make or break, that's for sure. Rear sets are back pretty far, but not extreme, actually. My legs still feel pretty good right now. I've been on much more cramped situations. I can say that. One thing that is strange. So I'm glad this thing still has a cable operated throttle, but maybe I just haven't found the right R's that it likes. But when I was shifting, it feels a lot more like when I let the clutch out on hard acceleration. There's more of a lunge right as I let it out, rather than I guess a smooth pop. I don't know how to explain it, but it feels almost like you're winding up a rubber band and then you just snap it. So right off the bat here, something that's interesting and probably very important for this situation to note is this engine laid out like this with the cylinders and heads and exhaust right underneath your arms. I 100% feel it. I actually am feeling hot air coming up and going into my sleeves. I can feel hot air, and I can feel it on my legs. So that's something to definitely take note of if you are planning on one of these R9Ts in general. A bit of roadkill there. For like an everyday use bike. I mean, the R9T, any of the others that are more upright, maybe it's slightly different, but this one I'm definitely feeling heat going right into my sleeves. And it's kind of weird, but I don't feel any, like, I'm used to feeling wind directly on my shins, and it's very little that's hitting my shins and legs at all. So it kind of makes for a much warmer ride. So 50 miles an hour, about 3,000 hours. I don't know why, but that seems a little high to me. Let's see what the torque is like here. It's fine, but nothing real impressive, to be honest. I didn't feel like crazy. It was okay. I guess went up to 65 easily with a roll on of the throttle, but it wasn't anything too exciting. Felt just enough. I will say the main reason why I chose this one is totally based on looks. I love the look of the thing. That sweet little fairing, really cool. That 70s style is something I really dig. Sounds pretty good. Boy, and you can feel it. When I blip the throttle like that, you can feel the motor actually move the bike. You can feel it jerk the bike side to side. So yeah, again, I don't know that it feels that crazy. I mean, 110 horsepower, I have to tell you, I expect more. I expect it to feel a little bit more torquey than what it is. It doesn't feel bad, but I mean, it doesn't feel underpowered, but it doesn't feel like 110 horse. Funny, this thing's got heated grips. Wow. Sounds good when you're blipping it. See, right there. When I pop that clutch, maybe it's the R's aren't coming down real fast. So when I shift, even if I'm not really giving throttle, instead of feeling like it's trying to slow down, it feels like it's already trying to, you know, like I'm jerking throttle and letting go of the clutch. It's an interesting feel. I mean, maybe it's just the bike and I'm not used to it yet, but that sounds pretty good when I back off there. Cornering feels pretty secure. It's hard because we're not really going nuts here. We got quite a bit of gravel on the road. So I can't really Gosh, it sounds good for what it is. Pretty sure this is stock exhaust. Now, I've been on other demo rides here at Moon Motorsports. They're usually really a lot of fun. This BMW crowd seems a lot more strict than what we normally deal with. So right there, it definitely, the R's hang a little bit. Probably however the motor's balanced. The clutch makes you feel as if you are throttling on and slipping that clutch out, and I'm not at all. So, all in all, definitely a bike that you would just cruise in town. This is not a machine I'd want to take cross country, I don't think, just based on the seating position. See, now right there, actually, I tried to give a little bit more throttle, and that was a lot smoother shift transition. Interesting. So it's probably just me getting to know the bike. I mean, I guess if you're in your 20s and you don't care, that's what I did. In my 20s, I took a trip by myself up into Canada, and I was riding a Suzuki SV1000S at the time, and I did all those miles. You know, I'm technically a sport bike, definite riding position at least, and yeah, I didn't complain at all. But now that I'm in my late 30s, it's a different story. I'm not real interested in this type of riding position for any extended period of time. But if you're a younger person, this is a really, I will tell you this, the bike has got a ton of cool factor. It feels solid, it feels solidly put together. Brakes are fantastic. Those brakes are amazing. They don't feel bitey. There's already times, that I felt like we were kind of caught off guard and, okay, we need to slow down quickly. And these brakes are everything you want them to be. They're immediately responsive, but don't feel too abrupt or bitey. It's great. Oh, I saw the leader. That's full throttle. I don't know what happened there. I think potentially didn't shift when I shifted it. Definitely, at least it wasn't a false neutral. Huh. Definitely hit red line. But again, so like that feels good and it feels powerful and fun, but it doesn't feel over 100 horse to me. It just doesn't. There's none of that like extreme monster torque out of gravel there. Goes around them corners like nothing. But I guess I just expected more torque out of it. More, something that felt slightly more raw. But I suppose, we are dealing with Germans. And they like to refine the crap out of everything. It's an interesting ride so far. I don't know if one would make it into the stable, especially at the price. But if you had a bunch of expendable income, I guess I would consider it for cruising around town and little jaunts outside of town. It'd be great, but it's a lot of money to just do that. But really what you're paying for is a bunch of engineering and an extreme cool factor. Gearbox feels really nice, actually. It's like kind of a nice, it's nice and kind of light click, but doesn't feel light and chintzy. It feels, like a good positive shift. Oh, yeah! if you power shift it, oh yeah, it really bumps into gear there. Bam! That sucker is unruly when you're power shifting. So there I shifted no clutch and just banged it to redline basically. That felt great. I mean, it felt awesome. But as you can see, I'm in 4th gear now, and you know, I was doing about 70. And so I was full throttling and power shift, you know, just, I call it power shifting. I don't know what you kids nowadays want to call it, but I was not clutching and shifting it, speed shifting it into gear, and it wasn't crazy, you know what I mean? Like when it shifts, sure, it felt like a little jerk and wild, but it didn't feel like I got 110 horses under me and we're ready to rock, you know? I feel like by 4th gear like that, on other bikes with the similar horsepower, you know, claim, I'd be doing 100 miles an hour. I mean, my SV, I'd be doing 100 in 3rd gear. And I think that's right around 120 horse. Even on my Scrambler 800, I feel like that thing feels faster. And in a 4th gear like that, I would have been doing 90 already. I would have been doing 90 and hauling. So maybe it's gearing, I don't know. But I can definitely tell you I'm not as impressed with the power as I thought that I would be. Not saying it's low or not enough, but it just wasn't what I thought, especially with a name like Racer. You know, I feel like that you should want to live up to that claim, not just have a fairing that makes it look racy, especially for the price. Anyways, guys, Two Wheel Ton, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. And we'll see you on the next one.